everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Progressive's Teen Driver discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's Teen Driver discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website, alawyerforus.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Spurs' second overall pick, Dylan Harper, will not be playing in San Francisco Summer League as he's dealing with a minor groin issue. He is traveling with the team and hopes to play in Vegas. Riley Minnick's also out for the California Summer League as he continues to rehab from a shoulder surgery that he underwent during the season. Spurs are reportedly hopeful he can return to Las Vegas Summer League as well.
If you smoke, take it outside. Get the facts at don'tpassgas.org.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
What's up, Danger?
Welcome into Extra Innings of Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thanks for joining me, however you may be joining me, whether that's on 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in and listening at sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you happen to be watching live on our YouTube channel. That's right. We stream all of our shows live on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search at SA Sports Star. Go ahead and like, subscribe while you're at it. You can comment along with the shows as they happen. Appreciate everybody that's already in the bullpen. Justin Guerrero said, I'm looking dapper. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Put some pride into my appearance every once in a while. But we can have a conversation in the comment section, or you can feel free to call in 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure. Lots to get into today. Spurs, they get a big man. Luke Cornett happened right as I went off the air yesterday, and I was so mad because as soon as I hit in, Shams tweeted. I was like, So, great signing. It's what they needed. I think he's going to be a backup to Victor Wembanyama, who's going to start at the 5. He's going to fill a role 15 to 20 minutes a game, and he gives great minutes and effort during that time period. And there'll probably be times where you'll have both of them on the court together, especially when you're facing a team like the Houston Rockets who can go very, very big on you. And that could help to provide. We've seen it with Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein. They have had rosters where they put out both bigs on the floor at the same time. We've seen it with a lot of teams. The Rockets did this year with Steven Adams and Alperen Şengün. Now they can just do it all the way across their lineup, which is crazy. But having that second big and a versatile one that gives you the option. And he does all the dirty work, man. He is a great screen setter, plays with effort, does all the little things on the court. And that's going to be very, very big and very valuable for this team, I think. Now that they've added him, what's that starting lineup look like for the San Antonio Spurs as we enter this year? Well, AJ and Rob were talking about this morning on the Morning Huddle.
Jay Rangel says, AJ, Rob, what's your projected starting lineup for the Spurs and why?
Okay, that's a good question. And I think that's going to be a very worthy debate over the next 6 months, trying to figure out when and where Dylan Harper becomes a starter.
Okay.
But I don't think he starts the season.
I don't think so either.
I don't want him to start.
I've got my prediction. I'd love to hear yours and see if we're on the same page here.
I think it'll be at guard. We'll have De'Aaron Fox and Steph Castle. I think we're going to have Devin Vassell or Harrison Barnes. They're going to have to decide. I think it'll probably be both and Wemby. I think that's going to be your starting five.
I think it will be Fox, Castle, Barnes, Sohan.
Over Vassell
and Wemby.
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't quite know which direction it'll go, but that's the defensive lineup, and Vassell would be the offensive lineup.
I can also see a world where if Dylan Harper shows enough early on that it's all three of those guards along with Barnes and Wemby. I could see that.
All of that.
I could see them like playing Harper at like almost like a three, like a in like sort of the same position that Shea plays right now, where it's like a distributing three, like that wouldn't shock me either.
It's going to be interesting to see how they bring Harper along, because remember last year when they were just trying to find, Chris Paul was here. We knew he was a bridge. So let's see who we can help out. So when Darren got here, remember they played together for a couple of games, which, and it was basically Darren, watch what I do. This is some OJT stuff. I wonder how much of that we're going to do for Harper. Hey, watch what I do with him and De'Aaron Fox actually on the court at the same time. De'Aaron running point guard so Dylan can see what it's like to be on the other side and to see that position run, because I do see that being very fun. And there's also this idea that a lot of coaches believe that with my young rookie, I want to give him a personal protector, a dude that is always on the court with him, a wide receiver to a quarterback, a connection to be built. And you wonder, who will I bring in when Harper's my first guard off the bench, let's say? Who's going to be my first big off the bench that's going to be playing a lot with Harper, not just with the starters? Obviously, that'll be a thing. So you wonder, is Cornette going to be that guy? His person, when Harper comes in, the next dude off the bench is Luke Cornette. And that pick and roll is the thing that you guys are going to be masters at by the time we get to June.
Look, I think Devin Vassell's most appropriate usage is off the bench. I think him just being the guy to go get the points, because that's where he thrives, is when Wemby's out and when Fox is out, and he has to be the go-to scorer. So make him that option off the bench with Keldon Johnson. I think Dylan Harper, you took him number 2 overall. How many number 2 overall picks do you see not starting when they get into the NBA? And let's face it, when it comes to the Spurs, what have we heard? We think Harper, Castle, and Fox all fit together. Why not start them all together then? Put them with Harrison Barnes and Victor Wembanyama and let them run early. And then you've got some veterans and some depth in that second unit now that's not a bunch of youth, and you can sprinkle Carter Bryant into that second unit. What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Kevin, welcome into the Extra Innings with Pledge. Man, what's going on? What you got for the starting lineup?
I agree with you, but I would actually say, except for one part, Castle, I think you should have on your second unit. I think he could be your de facto Ginobili of this generation, and he's already shown he can lead the offense from the point when Chris Paul was on the bench and you had De'Aaron Fox injured. So I think he could run your second unit and have him and Carter Bryant learning from him how the offense is going to run in San Antonio.
All right, so who's in your starting lineup then if you're taking Castle out of it? Because all we've heard is those three, they fit together, and it feels a lot like that's going to be part of the process with them. So if Harper's in your starting lineup and Castle's out, who else is going in there with Fox and Wemby? And Barnes, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Barnes, and I would say you could throw in Sohan at the power forward right now, and have Barnes as your swings, your shooting forward, small forward.
All right. I appreciate the phone call, man. That is a great call, Kevin, and I don't disagree with that. And having Sohan in that starting unit and moving Barnes to the 3, I think also makes them a little bit better defensively as well. That is a fantastic call.
Thanks, sir.
What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. John wanted to get in on the Spurs starting lineup. John, what do you got for me?
Yeah, man, I appreciate you taking my call. So I got Fox, Castle, Barnes, Sohan, Wemby. And coming off the bench, more like that AAU style that's happening. There's a lot of 5 in, 5 out. Coming off the bench, Dylan Harper, let him run the show. You got Keldon, you got Cornette, and you still got Vassell. I mean, tell me who's messing with that second lineup.
I mean, the second lineup looks juicy. I'm not going to lie. And whether it's Champagny or Bryant, if he earns the minutes, but I mean, that is a juicy second unit. I'm not going to deny that. Anything has Devin Vassell as a part of the second unit, I think is great.
And I think it's more of a run and gun second unit too, right? Something I saw last year with Wemby, when they were running and gunning with Fox, he got tired. So I think with the first unit, they get to slow it down a little bit, play some good Spurs basketball, and then the second unit gets to run and gun. And I think that fits Dylan Harper great.
Well, I appreciate the phone call, John.
Thanks, guys. You're doing a great job. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. The permutations of these lineups are fluid, can change. Just because they're starting week 1 doesn't mean they're going to be starting in week 6. And they may be tinkering with a lot of these things as the season goes on to find out the best fit. But I know at some point they are going to mess with that Fox, Harper, Castle lineup because they have talked about how they think those 3 can play together. And it's going to be intriguing to see it happen. I do know Harrison Barnes brings a lot to that starting unit. You can have Sohan in that starting unit as well because he doesn't command the ball, as does Harrison Barnes. You don't need those guys commanding the ball. There were too many guys that I think needed the ball in that initial wave with the starting lineup. And it's going to be very interesting to find out how that's all going to play out. What say you? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. A lot more to get into. We're going to take a quick break. More of your phone calls. Plus, what is the role of Carter Bryant on this team? We'll discuss next right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
Missions fans, get ready for AARP $2 Tuesdays at Wolf Stadium, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. Enjoy $2 tickets, beer, hot dogs, and more. Tonight, first pitch at 7:05 p.m. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at samissions.com.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
But do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys. And I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia. I got a tour of their headquarters. I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online, mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. You can follow me on all forms of social media at I am Pledger. You can follow the station at SA Sports Star. We're talking starting lineups in the last segment, and a lot of y'all want to give your opinions on what you think they should be, and I appreciate every single one of them. Lots of people in here getting on it. We just heard from Kevin and John. Ashley now calling in. Ashley, welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure, my man. What's going on?
Hey, thanks for having me, first of all. And then, yeah, I know it's going back and forth. There's so many fun things that you could do with this lineup. But one of my things is trying to justify having Devin Vassell come off the second unit and paying him $30 million a year off the bench. You know, at that point, he would be a star at a smaller, not popular team like maybe the Pistons, and then we can actually move him around and get some kind of defensive for the second team. Sohan's a great rebounder. He's not really much on offense, but he can rebound any ball that comes his way. So can Harrison Barnes. We have to have some more power to help. Wemby has already said he doesn't want to play five, and we want to see him be happy. So why not explore the options of Devin Vassell, sorry to say, but not being a Spur anymore.
I would absolutely love that. I mean, not having to justify 30 coming off the bench is great, but I'm going with the roster is currently constructed, and Devin is a part of that roster. Now, if you could move him for something, and he has been subject of a lot of Spurs fan trade talk into what you could get in return, whatever you have to do, I would be okay with attaching a pick to Devin to get that $30 million clear off the roster. But if he is a part of this team, I just think he fits better in that second unit than he does in the starting unit. And I don't care that he makes $30 million. I don't have to justify it coming off the bench. I just have to justify his fit with the players that he's running with.
Yeah, definitely agree with that pledge. And you're right. You're absolutely right. Try it out for a year. Let's see how it goes. And then next year, he may be unhappy, and then at that point we figure it out from there. But yeah, you're right. I'm okay with him coming off the bench on the second.
I love your trade him for another big or something to, fill out the rest of this roster with something it needs, whether it's a shooter or a big that can shoot. I'm all about that. I would love to be able to flip him for something, but if you can't, and he is a part of this roster, to me, second unit is where he belongs.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, thanks for taking the time, Pledge. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Ashley. Appreciate the call. Call back anytime.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
And that would be fantastic if you can flip him. And I will be willing to attach a pick if I had to flip him for something, just to be able to clear the contract, get a matching salary, maybe an expiring one in, but finding a floor spacing big, or just a sniper of a shooter from the outside, just to fill the holes that still are on this roster. You have Cornette, you have Wemby. Maybe you bring in one more person to help fill out this roster, and supplement it with one of the like pieces you have that is seemingly falling further down the pecking order because of all the people you're bringing in, like Castle, like Fox, and like Harper now. And I don't disagree with that notion at all. It is in fact probably one of the greater notions someone has had in terms of you don't need a big name, you don't need a big star. Just find something that you can flip Devin Vassell for to unload that logjam and maybe plug a hole along the way. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. And we talk about a lot of these lineups. Who's going to be a part of that second unit? I made the devil's advocate argument earlier today with Joe, who thinks Carter Bryant's going to take a year, maybe two, to develop into what he's eventually going to be. And that's fine. Maybe he does. But you hear things like this from Carter Bryant after one of the practices today at Summer League training camp on how he can separate himself to earn minutes early. And it sounds like he knows his way to crack the starting rotation.
Yeah, I think one thing I just want to bring is the physicality to the defensive side of the ball, being able to guard multiple positions, to keep them in front of me, guard multiple actions and make multiple efforts. I think is a big thing for me because like everybody wants to score the ball, but like how do I separate myself? How do I get those early minutes? How do I find myself on the floor? So I think defense in terms of that is just something I could do to get on the floor.
And that would be the way that he solidifies his minutes. And I brought up to Joe, maybe, just maybe, he can be a lot like a very early version of Kawhi Leonard, and that's how he cracks the rotation. Maybe not the starting rotation, but at least getting minutes on the floor.
I just think that there's a lot of room to go here. And whatever you think of Dylan Harper or even Carter Bryant, Bryant's going to take at least a year. This guy's not going to come in here this year and light the world on fire. I'm sorry, but he's just not. I think he's got all the potential in the world, but I just don't see him being a part of anything long-term success this year for the Spurs.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Because I look at Carter Bryant and he does things that I think more players on this team need to be able to do, whether it's Harrison Barnes or Julian Champagnie. We just don't have a lot of those guys that know their role and fit into their role perfectly.
Okay.
Defense is about effort more than anything, right?
Sure, right.
It's about want to.
Absolutely. And that's not something you have to teach in a lot of respects. I mean, guys are either good defensive players or they're not, and probably never will be.
So he comes in as a 3-and-D guy.
Yeah.
And he's asked to basically shoot open threes and defend and switch when he has to.
Okay.
A lot the same way that Kawhi Leonard was first asked to do.
All right.
Kawhi Leonard was a valuable part of this team his rookie year. He wasn't as valuable as he was later offensively as he became, but he was a valuable piece to the team when he first got here as a rookie because of what he was asked to do and what he did. Carter Bryant could fill a similar role just because of his skill set.
Well, I wonder that because scoring-wise, at least at Arizona, he wasn't counted on. Did they have that many other pieces so he didn't have to be? All he had to do was play defense?
He played defense. And if you watch, he was on the floor. He played defense, and he knew how to move the ball around offensively to get it to the open guy.
Which doesn't solve the problem of a shooter. It just doesn't.
I mean, he's still a shooter.
Well, he's a shooter, but obviously
he shot 40%.
But dude, average 6 points a game. Yeah, average 6 points a game. So, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. So, I see him in practice today knocking down threes. He hit it 10 in a row. Well, there's nobody guarding him and nobody passed it to him, and you're not in the heat of the battle. I get all that, and I think he's going to be a good player eventually. I'm not expecting a lot from this kid coming into this year. I'm just not. And so it still begs the question, where is your scoring going to come from? You've got Wemby, and where's the rest of it? Are you just going to turn into a 2-point team? You're going to go back old school? Because that's what Harper does. He drives and dishes. That's what Fox does, drives, mid-range. That's what Castle does. Drives, mid-range. You don't have the bomber on the outside that's going to open the floor. You don't. There is nobody there. And if Harper's your answer, or not Harper, if Bryant's your answer, then I think you're barking up the wrong tree.
Well, I mean, I don't think Bryant's starting. I don't think that's where his points come from. He's going to be with the second unit. Harrison Barnes is your guy that's floating around, and we saw from him last year, he fits into that role just fine as being a bomber from outside that knows how to play within the offense and get his shots as they come to him.
So he's Bruce Bowen. That's
Yes.
what he's going to be. Bruce Bowen.
That's what this team needs. They need 3-and-D guys.
Again, Bruce Bowen, it took him a minute.
Your points are coming from Castle, Harper, Wemby, and Fox. You've got your go-to guys offensively. You've got 4 of them. You need guys to supplement outside of that. And that's where I think Carter Bryant could be valuable as just being that piece on the outside that's going to lace open threes.
Well, then he's going to have to be, because if I see this team and I'm playing them day one, I'm crowding the paint. I'm inside.
Absolutely.
And I'm not letting Harper get inside. I'm not letting Castle get inside. I'm going to make them shoot outside shots. And I don't see a consistent outside shooter that can make me pay that I'm going to all of a sudden go out and have to guard those guys. There's nobody here. Vassell is inconsistent. I have no idea what Bryant's going to do. So, and maybe he's going to be good, and maybe he's not. I couldn't sit here with 100% certainty and say, yeah, this guy's the answer. I couldn't.
I'm not saying he's the answer. I'm just saying he fills a small role. And the same way that Kawhi Leonard filled the same small role his rookie season.
Well, Kawhi Leonard had help
to do too much.
Kawhi Leonard had players on the team that could help. He wasn't as bare as it is now.
Problem is, Kawhi Leonard also couldn't shoot his rookie year. That was something he developed into, was a shooter. Kawhi just played defense and drove. But this team has enough penetrators. At least Carter Bryant feels a role of being able to lace open threes and shoot from outside, which is what he was asked to do at Arizona. Yes, I know, just a little over 6 points a game, but he also was a product of the offense he was in. He wasn't the go-to guy, and he knocked down the shots that he was asked to knock down. Maybe he can be that for the San Antonio Spurs, and that's how he earns minutes early with this team. I'm not saying a lot of minutes. I'm saying 15. And if he earns 15 minutes a night doing that on that second unit, and he can play with Luke Cornett in them, I think that's a great addition. And it also brings some versatility and somebody that actually cares defensively to that second unit that I don't think it would have, especially if you move Devin Vassell to that second unit. It's just a thought. It's a way that he could contribute early in his career. This is Extra Innings with Pledge. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Make sure to call your loved ones, check on them. You never know what they're going through in life, and a simple, hey, how you doing, could change everything for them. Coming up next, we have Rangers baseball as they got game 2 against the Orioles up there in Arlington, right here on your home for Texas Rangers baseball, San Antonio Sports Star.
Circa Million and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million. Pick 5 games against the spread each week. 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed.